IE 9 is the highest, which is roughly around 20% I think of the total people who use. So except IE, if your client doesn't use IE, you are very happy. Otherwise, you need to use something called as polyfills. Okay, what they do is they give you a feature which act as if it's a HTML5 supported feature. So you'll find polyfills for different HTML5 feature. So polyfills, which means that if this feature is not there, then I'll fill it with this kind of stuff. For example, I could do this earlier also. This email field, okay, or date field, I could do it earlier also. I used to use some kind of a jQuery libraries or Dojo libraries or some blah 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 library to do it. But right now I wanted to write a less code. So these polyfills actually give you a support to do it on a different. Why not again simply use the previous code? That's the question, right? If previous code works on all the browsers, why not use that? The reason behind is this: if I start using the previous code, which means that I will never actually progress. The previous code will have a JavaScript library which takes time to pull. Third, the new person who joins will start coding using the same techniques rather than going for new techniques. Okay. So data list. So have you seen this? When you do a Google search, the keywords in the results will be highlighted. So we were working on a code search engine where we used to actually search the code depending upon something like, if I say I have a method which actually take an argument of string type and return an integer type and is there in this class blah 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 class, then it used to actually pull it out and then put it. So what we used to do is like we used to find those things and then we used to highlight it using something like span, and then to this span we used to give a different CSS style and then have. Then suddenly we realized, it went through a product stuff and then they came up and then IP cell came up and then said, you can't use this technique. We were like, why can't we use it? No, Google has already patented it. So those marking, which you say highlighting of it, the way we used to do is earlier, take a tag like span or something and then highlight it. Now there is something called the mark, which actually mark it. You can mark anything. For example, I wrote the complete sentence. If I wanted to mark complete, I would put mark and mark closing mark before this complete. So it will actually highlight this word mark, means that it will actually shade it up. So it will be visible very easily. You can actually give more things to it, like you can again define a CSS style and other stuff, but this is the easiest way to use it. Progress bar, just you need to say progress and it will give you how much progress you have.